We started a genre.
First thing that happened in New York was I got hustled for a fucking mixtape, dog.
Welcome back, everybody, to ARTBOX. Today's guest is somebody who's been on the channel a couple times already. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
All right. So my name is Christian. I go by Boogie on the internet. I've been running a channel, Boogie's BB, for I've done it for about 5 years now, with like a year break in the middle there, year and a half, something like that. And I've been streaming on Twitch, playing video games, doing beer reviews. I am a Devil's Lettuce fan. You're actually propped up on a very nice water pipe right now. Yeah, nice. It's pretty tight.
Comes in handy.
But yeah, I play a bunch of games, random games on the internet. Sometimes it's like the popular what's going on. Like the day that we're recording this, I'm actually playing X Defiant,
nice.
Which just came out in this time a few days ago. But I'm also playing Fortnite. I love like platformers and puzzlers. My wife just started Wasteland Wednesdays, where she's gonna be playing Fallout, streaming on the channel. And yeah, that's for this capacity. Yeah, that's a pretty good description of what I got going on right now.
Yeah. That I wanted to put an emphasis on the BB, the brews and bongs there.
Yeah,
Boogies,
bongs, and brews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shortened it down to BB in like for social media purposes, just because it's like it's easier and it doesn't hit those filter keywords.
True.
That, might accidentally get you a little bit shadow banned. So that's where that just goes a little bit easier. But Twitch has been, as far as I've been concerned, they have been incredibly liberal with what they allow me to do. I haven't gotten any strikes for any of my content. The closest it's gotten is when I've been playing like sports games, or now Fortnite has their actual like radio stations. If there's licensed audio, then on the VOD, it will mute that section of the stream like entirely. But other than that, like, we live in a recreational state, especially now, so there's really no reason for any of them to be mad about it. And
that's true.
Yeah, it's been tight. I plan on, now that we are a rec state, I plan on eventually leaning into the cannabis side of things a lot more. We'll probably have glass review and strain review, edible reviews, stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah. I know, because I don't actually have an account yet. Whenever I get on there, it warns you about adult content. So
yeah, I have it set for mature audiences only. So like just regular settings, it's not going to be put on the front page ever, regardless of how many fucking people I have for the most part.
Hey.
But everybody that is in my chat room is at least Twitch's version of verified over either 18 or 21. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. And so like, what you're getting into when you come to my channel, like both right off of the name and, when it gives you that little disclaimer. And so I don't know, it seems to be working out and they're pretty chill about it.
You guys also played, Hogwarts Legacy during the spike of the debate, right?
Yes. Yeah. That was actually, it's actually the very first game that I streamed when I came back, because and like when I took my time off, and that was what I came back with, was playing Legacy.
It looks like a dope game. I like the books and the movies. I haven't honestly read much about the politics. I am aware that that she said a lot of things and stuff. I just like the IPs, as far as I know.
Exactly. The way that I looked at it was, to be honest, I don't agree with probably most British white billionaires. So like what does her opinion matter to me when it comes to playing a game that I've honestly like dreamed about in some capacity since
Yeah.
I was a child. Like, it's the best game that we've gotten in this universe that I've played, and it was everything that I wanted it to be, and I was like, I don't fucking care is what it comes down to. I'm trying to play this sick ass game that a ton of people work their asses off on when it comes down to like the developers and the people that created the actual game, all the artists that worked on that project. That's who I was appreciating by that. I don't give a fuck about her anymore.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, if I see her name, it comes with like disdain a little bit because I'm like,
Yeah, all of that. And I'm like, I disagree with her views. And there's a lot of people's views that I disagree with. I disagree with the way that Nike makes their shoes, but I still have a pair of fucking Nikes. Like,
yeah, they're so unrelatable half the time. They're gonna say a lot of controversial stuff.
Yeah, and consumerism happens. Capitalism is the world that we live in. There's things that I'm not happy about, but I'm playing the games that I got to play to get by. And I don't know.
Yeah, that fuck it attitude is kind of a part of who you are. And speaking of a part of who you are, where does the name Boogie come from? Because we know where B&B comes from. Where does Boogie come from?
That to me, that's fun. It's a fun little story. So there was this college program that I was in high school. You were in it as well. And it was actually the trip to New York that you were supposed to be going on. And as soon as we touched down, they basically dropped us off in Times Square. I wanted to go to a souvenir shop because I was doing tourist shit, and I was fine with it. And I wanted to go to a souvenir shop because I wanted one of those stupid fucking Statue of Liberty lighters.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, have you ever seen Jungle to Jungle, the Tim Allen movie?
Yeah, Mimi Siku, bro. I know Mimi Siku, bro. they eat
so like I always wanted a little Statue of Liberty lighter because of that movie. So like that was what my first objective was when we hopped off the bus. So we're walking around, it's our dorm, and this is probably 15 minutes into landing in New York City. And there's like this dude outside just talking to people, and he's got CDs, and he's handing CDs out. And he's like, hey, you guys want a CD? And we're like, yeah, I mean, fuck it, why not? And then he was like, all right, after he hands them to us, he's like, all right, that'll be like $5. And I was like, what?
That's you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I got hustled. The first thing that happened in New York was I got hustled for a fucking mixtape, dog. And it was me and our friend Jared were the people that he got, all right? And we both shuffled through and gave him some money. And then he was like, all right, I'm gonna sign these for you guys. Who do I make them out to? And Jared tells him his name, and he writes it out. And then he was like, what's your name? And I was like, Christian. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to call you C Boogie. And he wrote 2C Boogie on his fucking CD. And then I've just, for a while, it was C Boogie on like my video game, like my Xbox handle, like my PlayStation, all that jazz. And then it just kind of, when I started thinking about streaming, I don't know, thinking about titles, alliterations are always solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was trying to go for what type of alliteration can I kind of go with here. So that's where the Boogie itself came out of.
That is pretty interesting. I didn't know that.
I got hustled in New York, and now I have a Twitch channel.
I've seen the C Boogie variant as your gamer tag before, and like maybe on older consoles. Um,
Yeah, once I got more serious into streaming, I went ahead and shortened it down to make it easier because it also had my birthday. So like for security purposes, technically, I guess I kind of shortened everything down as
yeah,
well to make it a
it,
little bit easier. Um, and it's
that's
it's easier for people to find.
that's been a common theme for a few of us. Dr. T Neil was my gamer tag, which was a variant of Dr. Pot, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was the cleaned up, mature version. Dr. Pot was taken on the next gen, actually. Okay, but the lemon squid was also a variant of his gamer tag. That's the
Hell yeah.
first episode we did. Do you
That's dope.
do you still have that CD?
I honestly don't think that I do. I
Hell,
kind of wish I did for these purposes, for this right here, but I'm pretty sure it was in my parents' house before they like tore down the bedrooms we had built in the basement.
which
So
which we're gonna talk about those later.
that basement that was a time, man.
Hell yeah. Um, since we're still on the subject, um, what is your process for streaming? Because this is a bit of an informational podcast. We do cover a lot of like creative stuff. We cover a lot of stories. Obviously, we shoot the shit a little bit. But
Right.
for the folks at home, and for me personally, because I haven't done it, and I'm about to start streaming sketchbooks at least. I'm gonna test out with
Hell yeah.
sketchbooks. Yeah,
That's gonna be cool.
yeah. What is your process for streaming?
Well, at this point, because of the things that I've figured out, it's just open, turn lights on, and click start. But it's taken me a little while to get there. When I first started streaming, I was streaming just through my PS4 because it has, that functionality. And so I was able to just connect my Twitch directly to my PS4. PlayStation had its own camera. I was able to use my headset mic to be able to have audio.
Mhm.
And then I moved into getting the PS5 and it does all of that smoother. And so basically it was for the majority of the channel, it was just opening it up on my PlayStation and just hitting a button and typing in the title, updating the title every stream to whatever was relevant. And maybe going into the settings to move where my face was on the screen.
Right.
Now I am actually streaming through my computer. I've finally moved into that side of things, and I have a lot more control over what I have going on. And I'm using just a cheap capture card from Amazon. It cost me like $30-$40 maybe. And basically I just have my console plugged into my capture card, and then my capture card is plugged into my computer. I've got my webcam plugged into my computer, my mic hooked up to the computer, and then I just opened up OBS with Open Broadcasting Software, I think is what it stands for, somewhere in that line. And that is what I have my Twitch linked to now. And this has made things so much better. If you look at what the channel looks like right now versus what it looked like 4
5 years?
months ago.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say at the beginning. 5 years.
No, I mean, definitely crazy difference from now and 5 years ago. But there's been a massive leap from here to fucking here in terms of quality of things now and stuff that I've been able to figure out, mostly just with YouTube U. Hey, YouTube University has taught me so much, and other nerds on the internet. Pretty much any problem I've come across on OBS or Premiere with editing videos, there's always somebody else on the internet who's had this same problem with this same software, and I've been able to find the answers really easily most of the time. Like, I actually literally just hooked up a second monitor last night, and it was like, just because I was like, hey, how do I do this? And that's basically my process now, is ask the internet if I haven't already figured it out.
Yeah,
And it's just expanding.
Yeah, well, it seems like I wouldn't really know exactly, but the history of like streaming's probably changed a good bit since you've started in general. But you've been on the same platform, right? Twitch, I think's been around for a while.
I've been on Twitch this whole time. I know that there are other ones, but at this point, I made it to affiliate like forever ago. So like my channel is open for subscribers and ad revenue, or like ad splits and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not much, but I get a little bit out of this. And so I haven't felt the need to go to other platforms, because as far as I know, I don't know if it's updated or not, but you used to be able to, or not be able to, stream on another platform if you were affiliate or partner on Twitch.
Oh,
So I
right.
didn't want to risk like streaming on Facebook and then them revoking my affiliate status and then having to fucking grind back up to get it again. So I've just stuck to Twitch this whole time.
Yeah, you might as well. I don't think that's a bad platform at all. People talk about it all the time, and I know OBS actually lets you project out to like multiple platforms, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. Yeah, there's lives on there, I think. I don't know if they have that on there yet.
I haven't looked into seeing if it goes to TikTok. I think that it goes to like Kick and Rumble probably as well.
Discord. I don't know if people have been using that stuff.
I know like almost nothing about Discord, to be honest.
Right. As you know, I've been learning. We used it for the first couple of episodes, actually. I'm getting there. I'm realizing that it actually has a lot more features than I realized. There's actually a whiteboard that you can share and like start drawing on there together. So I kind of want to incorporate that sometimes. That'd be fun.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I've been learning screen sharing and all kinds of stuff from doing stuff on the Lemon Squid channel, where we have to do the Pokemon stuff. We have to show each other our videos, our time lapses and stuff.
Oh yeah, those were pretty cool.
We have another one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got another one coming out in probably he said it would be out real soon, so within the next 2 weeks, I'd say I'll be sharing that.
Hell yeah, definitely. I'll be on the lookout for that. That'll be dope.
Yeah. So you've went through the trials and tribulations of learning the beginning of streaming, and you've upgraded your cameras, your mic, your computer, and you've hit affiliate. What are some tips that you would have for anyone who wants to get into streaming or are struggling to, I don't know, keep it going? Any tips you would have?
I would say nowadays the way that modern consoles are, like the current generation consoles, if you want to do it, just do it, is what it comes down to. If you're thinking about doing it, just do it. You're going to be playing the video games anyways, was the way that I looked at it in the first place. And I was like, if I'm already going to be playing video games for 2, 3, 4 hours, why not hang out with my homies at the same time in some capacity?
Oh yeah.
And I would say, if you do want to do it, if you want it to look decent, you are going to have to invest. But the way the boom that we're in of this is, you can do it very financially responsibly. Like you don't have to get the big high grade everything, the big name brand everything. You can use the middle tier type stuff. You can use the middle lower tier type stuff, and it's all like a little building block. And what's kept me going for the most part is a love for video games in general. So mostly that concept of I'm already going to be playing. And in some capacity, my entire life, I wanted to be like in entertainment. I've never really locked down how enough to like really hone in on something that I wanted to like really, really pursue. But I've always wanted to be in some sort of entertainment. And this is a really easy, like, in terms of effort that it takes to do path that can be, taken. And now it's right at your fingertips. It's literally the push of a button on your controller. And PlayStation makes a camera that's like $30-$40, $50 maybe. But it's a, pretty high quality camera, especially for the PS5 now. You can use your headset mic, which is not bad most of the times, as long as your cord isn't frayed or it's a decent wireless connection mic that's made for whatever console you're on. Then it's really not that difficult to be able to get into. So really, my main advice is just do it if you're interested in it, because it's been a lot of fun for me. I've had a lot of great times. I've played so many different games, and at this point, on the brews side of things, we have reviewed probably close to 150 different beers.
Wow.
160 maybe over the years. Like, there was a period of time where I was doing it twice a week. I was streaming like 4 or 5 days a week, and 2 of those were beer reviews. And now I'm currently streaming twice a week personally, and 1 of those is a beer review.
Which do you have any bad beer review stories?
Hold on, let me.
I got it right here.
I've got a sketchbook in here that we have been recording our ratings.
Nice.
For mostly since we came back. I've got
nice.
Land Grant Bay. That was a 4 and a 5.5.
Out of 10 or out of 5?
Yeah, out of 10.
Okay.
Out of 10. Yeah, we go out of 10. Let's see, Going Dancing, 3 and a 5 on that one. That one was not very good. The thing I will probably say is the most memorable right now, though, is gonna be what I just did last week.
Go ahead and tell the folks what this is and how you prepare it.
Okay, so I saw this on the internet, and then I posted on the internet that maybe I would try this, and then I got enough engagement that I was like, well, I guess I have to now. And it's called the Gonster. What the Gonster is, you take some Monster and pour about 30 to 40% of a glass, and then you take a Guinness and you pour the other 60% on top. You got to give it a little tilt, and then you have a layered drink that is Monster on the bottom and Guinness on top. Okay,
it's that viscous.
It's the densities are different enough that if you do it right, it separates, and I was fascinated by that in and of itself.
Yeah.
We technically tried the Gonster 3 different ways, but the way it kept getting worse ultimately, because the way that we did it the first time was the correct way that you got to do the concert.
And then you started playing around.
Yeah. We're like, well, we got to try. And actually, no. Okay, so it was the best version of it, the worst version of it, the middle version of it. That was the path that it went. Because the trick is you have to slam it. You got to slam it like we're calling them Irish slammers now.
Slammers.
So yeah, you've got to do it like an Irish slammer. And when you do it that way, it's really not that bad. But it's low key kind of like a modern form logo.
Oh yeah, man. I've had a few of those. Definitely had a few of those.
I was jazzed. I was jazzed up, dog. It was surprisingly not bad. And I regretted every second of it and loved every second of it. It was a wild time.
Man, I know you just like review them and like, much more moderate. I don't like technically really drink at all these days. Like it's very rare if I do. Just because like I don't like feel good afterwards. But
right.
I used to be a monster, yeah, a little bit of a gonster myself. I remember one night a buddy came out to like just chill and play some guitar, and we were looking at what's left of the alcohol so we can chill tonight or whatever. And we had Jägermeister and cinnamon schnapps. So I was like, oh yeah, we'll just go ahead and chase the Jägermeister with schnapps.
Just go ahead and go to jail because that's the next step.
Yeah, I was punching
Jaeger
fires
was the
around
first thing I ever got drunk on, and it was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made.
Jaeger was one of the biggest mistakes ever made. Oh man.
Yeah, Jaeger fucks me up.
We won't divulge too much of our younger years here. Speaking of which,
there is enough coming up.
yeah. Speaking of which, before streaming, we had a whole lot of skateboarding, brother. In fact, I think how we met, in a sense, it's kind of how I met the whole crew. When I came to East High School, I started bringing my skateboard and skateboarding outside. We also rode the same bus, so it was like, it was very organic, and not you, but
all the weird kids kind of collected.
Yeah, I remember the other ones being like, "Hey, I hear you skateboarding." And it was like, that's all it took.
Yeah, literally.
So yeah, we all just started tearing it up, man.
I had just started skateboarding literally like 2 weeks before that school year had started. I had like just this kid up the road had taught me how to ame. Literally like right before 7th grade started.
Just in time to hang out with the cool crayons.
Exactly, bro. No, like
I was
to
lucky
be honest,
I knew
like
much.
that crew is the epitome of like why I am who I am today at this point. Like those were our like super formative years, and we were all so tight, and we had so much fun. Like skating is one of the greatest gifts to humanity.
We well, I used to bring my board to school, and then more of us actually used to bring the boards to school.
Dude, you remember when they kept getting taken from people?
Yes. So there was one time I remember all of us getting lined up, at least 5 boys, probably let's say 15. We're all about 15, they had us all lined up in the office, which was super small, and they got all our boards in the superintendent's office, and he said, I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but we were kind of strong-arming back, and he was getting red in the face about it, and he said, I'm taking these boards home, and I'm putting them in my bonfire, or something like that. I'm going to roast marshmallows over these things. And that was like when I was like, because like, I come from not having much. That like shot right through me, because skateboards are pretty expensive, especially to kids,
especially nowadays.
Yeah. Oh yeah, $200 for a complete, bro. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll be damned, man, if he's gonna do that. I think what did we do? We took him back, didn't we? We took our own boards.
Somebody stole them back. Like, I
Dang.
don't remember who, but like somebody, I definitely vividly remember somebody stealing the skateboards back.
My brother also used to be involved in some of that kind of stuff. He was there
I
during his senior year for our first year.
Yeah, that which is, I don't know, it brings on to this kind of full circle because like me and Vinny were supposed to do a podcast, and like we've kind of had this like circle
Yeah.
for decades at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, damn near 20 years, bro.
Yeah, I think it's pretty strong. I still talk to almost everybody, really. There's a few people that have, chosen to stay unconnectable. I think there's like one person in high school that I just like could never get a hold of. But
See, there's one of those high school connections that kind of severed the regular communication with a lot of that circle.
yeah,
Like as far as like I am involved.
yeah,
So but every time I see any of the guys, it's all love no matter what.
oh yeah,
But like you and Zach and Joel are probably like the main like that skateboarding crew like that I actually stay in pretty regular contact with.
I don't see why not. Like if I got a chance, I'm gonna say, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Um, a lot of what we did back then, even with the skateboards, we used to bring, or well, I had one first. It wasn't even mine; it was my brother's camera. I brought my brother's camera to school, and we started filming some skate videos, dude. That actually built it because we had the one with the mini VHSs on it. We would record those, transfer it over
Yes,
to like
I
a big
remember
VHS.
that.
Yeah,
Is it like that was what like Sweet Fine was recorded on, right? Was
I
like
think
one of those?
no, that was that was once I had red hair and stuff, and he had a digital camera by then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay. I'm
but
thinking of maybe like when somebody jumped off of the fucking roof onto a pine tree.
that was one of those. That was on that camera.
No, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that far back. Jesus.
Sweet Fine is almost like 5 years away from that. Which is
Oh
pretty.
wow.
Yeah, we actually filmed a lot in high school. But when we did, when I was supposed to be thrown on top of a pine tree off of a house, I was like 14. So yeah, there's a lot of footage out there.
There was you guys I think some of you guys snowboarding down the like elementary school hill in Sodaville.
I wish I remembered that. I remember catching some air and landing on my back right in the middle of the freaking parking lot, man. Those kids, we walked past these kids with a sweet ramp, like, huh, pretty cool, kids. Let us tear that up. We skateboard all the time, so we all had our snowboards. And I went down that bad boy, carved it real good, dude. And I went like so parallel by the time I hit the air. I just went straight on the parking lot. And I was, knocked the air out
Cold
of me.
as hell.
Yeah. So many skateboard stories.
The dolphin dive into like the back of Shane. I think it was Shane's head. That was,
STC has a lot. Subject to
dude,
Change has a lot of back.
yeah, Subject to Change is a formative part of my youth.
Yeah.
To be honest.
That was actually you were mentioning wanting to be more of a performative. Actually, we did a lot of stuff back then. You were in a bunch of skits.
We did
What
the
else
chase.
did we-
The chase is one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah. You did the chase, and then like I mentioned, we did all of our own skate videos. You actually got your own cameras at a certain point, didn't you? Or we had Jesse's GoPro.
Technically, I got my mom's old camera, old digital camera. I'm like, we could take 20-second videos at a time, something like that, with like a little tiny screen. And then Jesse got the flip camera, is what it was, because it had the USB, like the USB part flipped out of it, and that had like a nice little like LCD screen or whatever. It was like 2x1, and we're like, this is so awesome, and you could film like a minute at a time.
That's also when the GoPro came out, isn't it? Because I think
I think it's around the time, but it definitely hadn't like gotten big yet.
Right. We had like I remember us messing with like a square one that Jesse had or something like that, and it was enough.
I don't remember the square. I remember the rectangle.
That's what I meant. Yeah, it's rectangular.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the rectangle was definitely the flip camera.
Yeah.
That was like innovative as hell to us at that point in time.
Revolutionary, dude. I actually mentioned our skate team in the last video I just put out.
I saw that.
My secret to endless creativity mentions Oh Hazard, Victims of Society, which was supposed to be like our video name, our video title. And we have like 2 videos that are like 6 minutes long that have like no titles or we were very young.
Technically, we had a teaser video that was like 30 seconds long or something like that. And then we had our like 13-minute skate video with our 3 parts. I think it was me, you, and Mitchell, right?
Right, yeah. That one, and then there's one that has Jared, me, you. There's a lot of people. Jesse.
Oh, yes, the Oh Hazard Back to School. The Oh Hazard Back to School.
Yeah.
When I come up riding no-handed on the bike out back, that was after I had blown my knee out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cruising up in style, dude.
I had to ride a bike to be able to like really help gain mobility back and even get back to skateboarding in any capacity.
Not too long ago.
Now it's like escaped me.
Right. You let it go too long. Not too long ago, I wasn't walking for like 2 years. Like I wouldn't say I wasn't walking for 2 years. It was one of those slow progressions. Like they said it would only be like 2 weeks and took 2 fucking years.
It was the plantar fasciitis, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
It tensed up all the muscles in my back and everything. I was like unable to move, and I guess I pushed it to the point where I couldn't move, and then it was a real slow build back to getting it. So I finally understand some of those muscles and joints a little better.
Yeah,
I'm still skating now.
Unfortunately, made my knees worse over the years.
That's right.
And sometimes it feels like my things like shift around while I'm just walking. So I'm like, I'm just gonna not jump and not risk this anymore because like I'm too old for that, and I'm not on my parents' health insurance anymore.
Speaking of your parents' health insurance, with all those handheld cameras and whatnot, we started editing those videos in your parents' basement.
That is true.
I'm pretty good at segues.
that old ass computer has finally been thrown out as of the last like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
hasn't been working in probably 15, but
it was one of those big white windows, wasn't it? Like
something like that. It was just like an HP. It was my mom. Like it was the old house computer. We had gotten a new computer upstairs, and we're like, let's use this one. Like we'll use this one for We were using Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, Movie Maker was
Which
it.
I don't even think, does Movie Maker even exist anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Actually, the first video on this channel is made with Movie Maker. Interestingly enough. Yeah. Because
dude, I might download Movie Maker and just for the nostalgia.
It's so bad. Especially since you're on Premiere. Oh my.
Right.
Man, you're gonna be like, I can't do you can't do anything. It's weird the possibilities that you don't have on that thing.
Is it just as functional? Is it basically just as functional as it was 18 years ago?
Almost no changes. Still flawless.
Nice.
Yeah. Still making movies. When I had gotten clean and moved in with Zach and Ryan and really started like a whole new life, that was just my introduction into doing like art videos and stuff. I was like, I want to start filming this stuff, now that I'm just like,
Hell yeah.
I go to work and then I come home and I draw and stuff. What do I post pictures, but I kind of want to figure out art videos. And
Yeah.
I think I've got a hand on it now, but that video it's way different than what I'm doing now. Tell you that much.
And is it still on the channel?
Yes. It's
Awesome. You said
Danny
it's the very
versus
first one?
yeah, Danny versus the Beast is just original character painting.
I'm gonna go back and rewatch that so I can see a nice little difference, because like where you've gotten to now is like it's it looks like real good shit.
It's like real stuff.
High quality. Yeah, like it looks like you're not playing with a budget anymore, which
Which
it
is very
probably
strange.
comes down to it probably comes down to you knowing your equipment, you knowing your lighting, you knowing your editing softwares, your this and that. I think it comes from just utilizing what you have in the best ways you can, and it looks fantastic, especially when, like, even compared to just a video that you made 6 or 8 months ago, your videos now are like so much better.
Yeah.
Like, it's sick. It's dope to watch the progression. I like it.
I appreciate that, man. That really means a lot because it's hard to tell who's watching sometimes. I know you always are. You always have something to say.
Yeah, since high school, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I've always been like, hey, you need to make money off your art somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You were probably in the room when I made my first buck. Do you remember that?
Wait, was it to our art teacher?
I told the story actually on this channel during the commissions video. It wasn't our art teacher, but we were in the art class. I don't know if you were in there, but the one who bought it was I'll bleep this out if I have to, Miss Picklesheimer. And
Oh, okay.
she walked, and we had just did the bowling pins. We did bowling pins, and I did Mario with a bill. And she's like, "Can I buy that for my son?" I was like, "I guess so." I asked teachers, like, "Am I allowed to do that?" She's got it greedy, I gotta ask the boss.
We had a pretty cool, for the most part, art teacher at that point in time. I think,
Oh, yeah.
if I remember correctly.
I enjoyed.
She didn't
both
like
of them.
me, but
Hey, no, not many people do. I'll get what they say about you. Is that what they say?
that is what I hear.
No, man. If anything, you've been really generous, very kind. You're an awesome person. That's why you're on here, man.
I appreciate that, man. I do.
You've always been that way. Speaking of our history, we also were in marching band together.
Yeah, I actually just talked about marching band probably either today or yesterday in some way. I think I was talking about Martin senior year.
Nice. Yeah,
And
you guys got to bond a little more than I did. I missed out on that.
dude, that was so cool. I technically get to claim that I was a professional bassist for a weekend. Just dope. I got paid $200 to play bass in the pit for West's production of Wizard of Oz.
Nice.
And it's all because they asked him to play drums, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys need a bassist?" And they're like, "Yeah." So he taught me how to read sheet music for bass guitar enough to be able to fumble my way through and make $200.
Heck yeah, that's freaking
Yeah,
sweet,
it was
dude.
awesome. I was a senior in high school making $200 playing music. That was like the coolest thing in the world to me.
Hey man, we were some pretty cool kids. Hey, there's been multiple teachers who are like, "Look, when all this dust is settled, we're gonna eat some pizza. We're gonna jam out. We're gonna listen to some Dio. We're gonna go to Ozfest." Do you remember that one? That was a real one. We're gonna go to Ozfest. Where's Ozfest now, man? I've never been to Ozfest. No, they were all
I
awesome
have heard
teachers.
rumblings of Ozfest coming back, at least in some way.
Well, he's probably waiting till then. That's probably what it is. He'll
Yeah.
get a hold of us then. Hey boys, remember when I promised that trip?
Oh shit.
Marching band though was a really awesome time. I can't remember. I think I was in there maybe a year or two before you joined.
Yeah, I didn't join until junior year, to be honest. So technically, I only got one competition year.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
but
the
I had
last,
so much fun in marching band. Like percussion, there's no way that there was anybody else that had a better time in our marching band than percussion.
oh
And
yeah,
we were also the best section of the marching band. So
that
nobody was able to get mad at us because we were getting the highest scores
yeah.
and we got to goof off.
People these days would call that autistic.
They would also probably call what some of we did hazing and bullying.
Well, what I meant is just to play on how people use that nonstop these days. But
Yeah,
I think it ties into exactly that. Is we were fucking full of freaking sugar and energy, man. We were nonstop.
that is true. We were drinking fucking Vault and oh, the camo Vault commercial.
Yeah, that's an old one. Yeah, filming in old skits. Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, we did some dumb shit. That was such a stupid video. I could see it in my brain with the visor beanie that I was wearing, and
And the idea was that the label was camo, right? And you guys
yeah,
did
so
a skit,
we couldn't see it.
and that was the whole thing. I remember you guys coming to us with that, like, you have to see this. No, I get it, because we did that too with our stupid
Oh.
shit. That's so
Oh
good.
my god!
A lot of those are
I
still
just
up.
rewatched one of those. I just rewatched a compilation video that I think Joel posted a few years ago. It
Yeah,
popped back up in my memories, and
I think I watched it
was
too.
crying.
Yeah,
I was crying, dude.
there's some good ones in there. Which surprisingly, he's coming up a lot on this podcast, Jesse. We were also in From Red to Violet together.
Which I also caught a glimpse of in the last video. It was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
little sliver where I could see to violent, and then like it cut to another page, and
Yep.
you didn't address it at all.
Now, some of them just, there's too many stories in that book. All
That's
those
true.
books. Yeah. So,
And the
like,
From Red to Violent story can be told now. So
exactly. I think there's reasons for people to listen to these podcasts other than information. There's a lot of backstory to what I'm doing here, I guess. Who I am.
especially between the two of us, we've known each other literally almost 20 years at this point.
Well, I've got my very first guest. That was the first time I'd ever talked to him, other than meeting him like the day prior or something. But we never had a conversation. My second guest, we had never had a full conversation before either, and that's why I say Vinny for like third. I was like, okay, this
Right.
I've had a couple conversations with my brother, and then you. I already had you playing. We've had a few, so I'm meeting people, and we're also redigging up things, finding out some full circle effects here. Because there's definitely a lot of things that are coming full circle, especially Camp
Oh, yeah.
Buck Camp. Camp Buck Camp,
Dude,
is,
I cannot wait for. I'm excited for a Camp Buck Camp resurgence.
Yeah.
Oh, also, the wife has a bone to pick with you about one of those butts.
Not the butts, tall butt.
No. The one that you said was Albert Einstein. That she said is Benjamin Franklin.
You're right. As soon as you said the name, I know it's Ben Franklin. Oh man. You know how many typos and stuff are in my videos right now? My very first documentary has a whole complete wrong year for COVID.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it says 2022, which was when I was I think I was making it. in 2022. So I was typing the year that it was. Anyways, uh, from Red to Violet, we had brought up in the last episode, and that was a pretty fun experience. That's the first time we actually started pursuing music outside of school and like with
Yeah,
other people. Like we were also around a lot of people we didn't know at that time because we started playing shows. But that was the
yeah.
idea. That was the idea.
We played the one show as from Red to Violet, but the people that we got in contact with, like that we were hanging around with, the Wismans, from back home, like they were incredibly generous, like with their time and their space and their instruments. And that one dude had the recording studio in his duplex out back or whatever, like
David
incredibly
Myers.
professional per studio, studio. That was like so much fun.
Mhm.
Like, it was when we fell into being around the Wismans. I think is really what happened. Because we just started jamming.
Mhm.
Everybody's like, let's hang out and jam, and then we're like, let's be a band.
Yeah, it was you on. You had steadily picked up bass guitar. Um, I had steadily like played guitar, but I didn't play guitar in that band. I played drums because they had
Right.
drums. Yeah, they already had the drums, so
You
that's
were the
the
only one who had any sort of like drum knowledge at that point.
yeah. I actually only started playing guitar because of Guitar Hero. My brother bought me a real guitar. He's like, I know you like Guitar Hero a lot, and now I still play
I
it to
think
this
we
day.
all,
So
any of us in this age, at least a good portion of us at this age, picked up some sort of stringed instrument, probably because of Guitar Hero. Because I had an electric guitar as well at one point that I was fiddling around with, and I was like, too many strings,
I
it's too
don't
hard.
know. I don't know if I would have even enjoyed Guitar Hero if I hadn't been in band beforehand.
Huh.
Because I had already had like played with instruments.
Well,
So
yeah, okay, that makes
so
sense.
otherwise, and before that, I had no interest really. I liked singing and stuff, but like a guitar was expensive, a band is expensive. Whatever, I'm not doing that. Whatever, it's not gonna happen for me. But and then it just kind of naturally happened. The reason I joined band was because like a few of our friends went, and I was like, yeah, I guess if I'm staying at you guys' house, I guess I'll try it out too because I'm along for the ride. And that led into like 4 years, and then drumline captain. And you were on tenors with me that year, weren't you?
Yes, yeah, our senior year. That was a
Herod,
blast. I was bottom bass my first year.
you got really
And
good really fast, and then we had to cut it off back right into graduating, basically.
yeah,
I was gonna say you
man,
got
tenors were so much fun.
yeah.
I think I would argue to say that's probably my favorite percussive instrument. The tenors are a blast. And like it's the only thing that you can like look like an octopus and like it's impressive to people.
There's plenty of tricks on there too. Snare was really fun, and bass was fun. I think the
I can't
funnest.
remember what his name is, but there's this dude that I've been seeing reels of recently that like he plays a practice snare and he's like dancing. It's usually to like popular hip hop songs like right now. And he'll be dancing. He's like throwing sticks off of the ground and like he's
Yeah,
got like 6, 7 sticks in his pants and he's like throwing them out like on beat and like drumming backwards and shit. I don't know.
yeah.
Percussion has always fascinated me.
We used to run around doing that shit with slamming the sticks on the ground and then catch them in the air, dropping behind our backs and stuff, and recatch them and all that
I
stuff.
I still do like one of our stick tricks
Oh yeah,
like to this day.
I still
Yep,
play around.
exactly. You knew
Yeah,
you knew the exact one. You fucking did the exact one.
I've been seeing it in art a little bit. People like to start their reels by spinning their pencils, their digitals.
I have noticed some of that. I remember learning a couple of pin tricks for like at one point in time back in the day. I always forgot it's a thing.
Sweet pen tricks. Hey, you remember we used
Yeah,
to
dude.
we had a friend who would look up break dancing videos and then like got real big into fingerboarding. And guess what's big now? Fingerboarding is huge. It's blown
And
up.
like big?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
There's parks. Like people go to parks, fingerboard parks, and they're stand up tables. And so like you walk up to it and it's right here, and you just put your board on and you start going. You say, hey, what's up, Jeffrey? Haven't seen you since last week. That was a sick feeble grind, Jerry. I can't remember his name.
That's crazy. I know, like, skateboarding is in like a weird place right now. I didn't know about the fingerboarding thing being like big right now, but I just found out about this Japanese game show called Kaso.
Yes.
And I watched the second episode of it the other day, and I was like, this is so fucking fun. I was glued to YouTube for an hour.
It's perfect. They like they just like the rules are pretty simple. They don't even have to like do tricks. Tricks aren't really a part
They're
of it.
like super impressed when somebody does a trick and it becomes like a big, like a dude kickflips over the last obstacle and everybody's like, oh
yeah, because like everybody will hit the obstacle and all you have to do is clear it, and like so ollie last dude tray flip, it's a mind blower. And honestly the Mr. Beastification of the skate parks is very wacky. It looks really fun. I'd love to play around on those bad boys. Queso,
I would get fucked up on those things. I just know it.
Yeah.
The way that those people were falling into like the spiral is crazy.
Yeah. That's an insane show. I'm glad you've seen that. I caught the premiere. I didn't know they had another episode, so I need to watch that. So we've talked about streaming. We've talked about a lot of skateboarding, and we've talked on music a good bit. If you'll talk about 6 songs deep, I'll talk about my rap career.
Alright, I guess that's fair.
You might think you know me, but you don't know shit. Here's a little story about a kid that don't fit. He's a misfit in a new school with the big kids getting bullied every day. It's kinda hard to pretend like it doesn't bother me inside. I'm crumbling and tumbling into a darker place. You got me wondering, should I take it back to the NB backpack, back to the red and gray? Nah, all my cats at East High School. Nice try, fool. Think they're getting rid of me or making life cool? Steady wishing I would quit it, but your boy has got a vision. My success will be my vengeance. Take a look at my decision. Playing ball at all positions. Come at me, you bet I got defenses. Got 2 hands and a plan. Now it's time to understand. You just gotta let me do me. Gotta let me do me. I said you gotta let me do me. To show the world the true me. Yeah, you just gotta let me do me. Gotta let me do me.
And since I knew this was coming, I did go ahead and grab a couple of things over here to my side that I wanted to go ahead and show, I guess.
Nice.
So as I mentioned earlier, as we were talking, I've kind of, always wanted to be in entertainment in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a portion of time where I thought it was going to be through rap. And I was taking it moderately seriously. I had a project in the works. I had songs written, a couple of them recorded. And then some shit went down and the studio had to move. And then everything kind of went flat from there. I'm not going to get too much into that because that part's not really my story to tell.
That's fine.
But that might end up being a story you could tell. I might put you in touch with him, actually, because that would be a very interesting creative to be able to get on a pod with.
Nice. Yeah, let me know later on.
Yeah, one of the super homies. But yeah, I have technically I've released 5 songs, but the only like real serious one was the last one. And that was 2017 or 18 now. Somewhere in that range. I think it might have been 2017.
Sure.
Yeah. And I had released a couple of songs years ago on like different little platforms online and entered a couple of like producer contests. Kato, who was affiliated with Funk Volume at the time, like Hobson and all of them. He had a contest that he hosted where he, put out these beats and was like, hey, best verse gets this and that, da da da. So I entered a couple of those. And I've got a page on Facebook for it.
Oh, yeah.
I had an album cover, which I actually have the original inspiration for what turned into what. I'll send it to you in a little bit, but it's the profile picture for the music page.
Gotcha.
And yeah, let me show this off.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember seeing the pages, and I've seen the album cover, and then I had only heard the one song, and I thought I had heard more until you clarified. But I guess, I don't really know what that album cover is now that I think of it. I remember it being very ambiguous.
Yeah,
the
it's
6 songs.
it's pretty flowy. The initial concept was a yin and a yang, because like that's always been something I've like put some stake in.
That would have been a part of the branding if you went a little further, probably.
What is it?
Said that probably would have became more of the branding if you went a little further with it.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so the initial concept was a yin and a yang. And my like purple is it's definitely my favorite color.
Yeah.
And so this is the initial blueprint, I guess.
Go down. Farther.
Oh wait, shit. I forgot I was showing the camera.
It looks
and
like
not you.
It looks like a poisonous Pepsi symbol.
Yeah, a little bit.
Toxic Pepsi. That actually looks sweet though. Whatever that is. Is that ink on top of watercolor?
I believe so. I think that's what he did.
That's awesome.
So this was done by somebody who is currently a former friend, but I do still believe that artists should absolutely be credited for the work that they've done, regardless of what our relationship is nowadays. And his name's AJ Bryan. He is an incredibly talented artist, and he is the reason that the album cover looks the way that it did, because he came up with this, or he put this to paper, he scanned it, and then did digital work over top of this image to actually create what you'll see, when you have the profile picture. That's actually the album cover.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and show some of these things on screen.
But also in this thing,
I'm glad you did that though. That does mean a lot to, give the credit to the artist and stuff.
I was thinking about it today. I was like, it's the right thing to do. Like, he is incredibly talented, and I didn't fucking make this. Right? I just gave him an idea and he brought it to life for me. And I do, greatly appreciate that still. So it felt like it was the right thing to do. Real quick, I just wanted to pop in here because in the moment I completely forgot to mention this, but it is full circle and it is important. AJ, the same person that we were just talking about that did my music logo, he also did the original logos and designs for the Twitch channel. And to be honest, like, I'm still using the emotes for my subscriber tiers that he also made. So once again, big shout out to him for doing that. I still greatly appreciate all of the art that I got from him. But this is some of the other stuff I've got in this fucking folder. This is all fucking lyrics, bro. I've got stuff. This is that has like a bar on it that I came up with, that I thought of.
Got a regular old
I used-
Eminem. He's writing it on his on his mail. He's like,
I had like these. I got these from work. Oh shit! I actually just found when I was practicing my autograph. That's so funny. But yeah, I was.
It's nice to dig through old work, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't looked at most of these lyrics in fucking years, bro. Like, I bet there's some cringy shit in these bars.
do you want to read us off a couple?
I don't think so, bro. I do not think so. I'm
Not even
gonna let
tempted now.
you. I'm gonna let you use the song that we polished and
Oh,
made
right.
sure was good.
Okay.
As any sort of example of my hip hop career.
Well, I'll go ahead and take that blow because my songs were not polished, and we're how do we start this one? I'm not really gonna like say the names of the groups because they're searchable, and there's technically three. I can't remember the very first one, but you know the other two. The first one had something to do. Oh, I think it was called Zombie Hop. You remember that name? Zombie Hop.
I don't remember that name actually.
Yeah.
I
I'm
can't
surprised that
remember
hit me.
any of his names.
That's a dope name now. That's a genre right there, dude. We started a genre. Zombie Hop, bro. It's way better than JoJo Siwa. She's on her own thing right now. The music was probably better than JoJo Siwa's too. Well, how did that start? I would say the very first formation of it was me and another friend that we mentioned earlier named Joel. Joel was the music man, the man with the computer. He did all the beats and stuff. He did all the recording, everything for us. He even jumped in on I think he did a verse. Like we were planning on bringing him in on more verses, and then he also did fills. But we did that stuff because we were really inspired by LMFAO. And
Party rock was a cultural movement.
Yeah, it hit you, dude. There's pictures where it hit you.
I was shit. I don't remember what was it Blue Sky and Red Foo? Was that their names?
Yeah, Red Foo and Sky Blue.
Sky Blue. Yeah, I was basically him for prom.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the mental image I have. The glasses and the white tux, dude.
Absolutely.
I have one photo of me wearing the shades without the lenses.
They had a chokehold on the culture at that point.
Yeah, man. I even I learned a two-step. I learned a lot of dances actually.
I learned how to shuffle because of every day I'm shuffling.
That reminds me, we were also in a dance class together. We took dance classes together where we learned Zumba. In that college program. And
we took ballroom dancing. Were you in Cirque as well?
Yes, I was gonna say Cirque because the woman said, "Christian, you're really limber," and I was like, "Oh, Christian, yeah, you are, man."
I do not remember that. That's so fucking hilarious.
It's weird the things I remember, and I chose to remember that how limber you are. So keep that in mind.
So now I know that. Now I know that that's how you think of it.
Yeah, limber Christian. Gotcha.
All right.
But the LMFAO group, we recorded quite a few songs. One song had Bruce Campbell, his dialogue from the Old Spice commercial, and the song was called "It." And he kept saying if you don't have it, then you need it. If you need it, then you it's that whole
one.
thing.
That one was a banger.
That's the one that I think I have that, and I know how to find it too. We'll let these things
Listen,
come out in time.
if we're putting my music up, you gotta put at least a little snippet,
Well,
just a little one,
I was
even
actually
if it's only 10 seconds.
if I got it for sure. But I know that you actually remember lyrics from it
Uh,
off the top of your
but
head.
the I see London, I see France, I'm an alcoholic muppet.
Wait,
Wait, no, drinks make me dance like an alcoholic puppet. I see London, I see France, I'm an alcoholic muppet. Yeah, there we go.
Drinks make you dance like an alcoholic puppet. I see London, I see France, I'm an alcoholic muppet.
wow, that was wild. That was yeah. I was a bit of a
Wow.
silver tongue, dude. Yeah, yeah. You could say I was the next big thing. Well, and I always had a fascination with puppets.
That's true. That is true.
That's very weird. 'Cause,
That's
like
15 years ago.
I've only been like vocal about puppets since I started like drawing myself as a puppet and like shared Jim Henson and stuff. But it's like we both like. I know you love the Labyrinth, right? You're a
Dude,
big fan.
Labyrinth is one of my all-time it's one of my all-time favorite movies.
It's an amazing movie.
Yeah, I was excited when I watched one of your recent videos and you had like your version of the worm.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorite little things because that worm is one of my favorite movie characters, like, period.
It hit me randomly because I was like already in the edit and I think I had already filmed stuff. I was already drawing stuff at this point, and I was like, what if I go ahead and just parody that scene from The Labyrinth? Like, that was like a last minute thing. I wrote the script real quick. I listened to the script and then parodied it and then sent that to my buddy, and he recorded it and sent it back to me. So that's not my voice even.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I like to try to get more and more people involved in stuff, which I think we've even told you, like, anytime you want to try to be a part of something. Did we try to
Hell
get
yeah.
you in Sweet to Die Hard?
I think that, like, I mean, obviously there was an opening in some capacity, but my schedule made it impossible for me to be able to be in town when you guys were trying to do stuff, and I was not going to try and put that extra stress on anybody. Like,
It was
I was
wild,
just-
the amount of people we actually got to come in. There's 2 people from Illinois that were in the movie. And then a few people that just weren't, like, they were probably like 2 hours away, an hour away. And
that's awesome.
we got the movie done.
I
but
was
like,
very excited. Like, throughout the entire process, I was so stoked. And now it's, come complete, and I have my Blu-ray on my shelf of Sweet to Die Hard.
yeah, we got to show that in the last episode, on Vinny's episode.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps up everything I had here today.
Hell yeah.
I'll make sure to insert a little bit of that rap song if I can find it. That one is called It. So,
Hell yeah.
that's the only name reference I'm giving anybody at the moment. But that's about everything I can think of. Do you have anything you would like to tell the audience about before we go?
Honestly, I would say, like I said earlier, if you want to get into streaming, at this point with modern consoles, it's so easy to just do it. You got to rip the Band-Aid off, or you're never gonna do it. And that's the absolute best advice that I can give. Because if you enjoy it, you're gonna want to start investing in it little by little. And little by little is what has made this a lot easier for me to get to the setup that I have now, because it'll be like, I have bought speakers here, or a headset here, or a better mic here, with, like, time in between. So I'm not trying to buy everything at once. Like, I just got these lights last week, I think. I literally just got the overhead light that makes this look better Monday, maybe Tuesday.
Nice.
I've just started doing this. So I think if you want to do it, you got to just do it, and don't think too much about how high quality, how name brand the stuff that you get is, because most stuff nowadays is good enough for you to be able to get your point across and do at least a decent looking job for not a whole lot of money.
That's a big,
I would say
that's a big part of what creative jargon is, man. We're trying to at least like I'm learning and showing you as I learn. Like the documentary goes from like crappy editing to decent editing by the end. Even the editing changes because I did it while I made it, and
right.
and then everything I've put out since, I do focus on like learning lighting and stuff like this, production stuff. It's all a part of your own interest, and if you love it, if you want to put it on the internet and make good quality stuff or whatever, you do everything you can to invest in that, whether it be your time and your knowledge or your money. It's a slow process, but like you said, you can see the difference within just even a couple months.
Right.
And just like what you were saying, you pick up what you have. Basically,
yep, if all you have is a PS4, you can stream to Twitch right now.
Yeah. I started I think my short film that we even showed around town, like that just took me just like writing it and then filming it on my phone, and then granted we recasted and reshot it and like had a production for it, but like things start in a really it starts in a curious place. As soon as you're curious and you start picking at that curiosity, it eventually includes a crowd of people that you got to speak in front of.
Right.
But
that would be my other quick little piece of advice is speak as if somebody's there, regardless of whether there's somebody there or not on Twitch, because you got to be able to get used to speaking to people. So even if you have nobody watching, you got to try and remind yourself consciously to speak as if there are people there, because eventually there are going to be people there, and you don't want to get put into a place where you're not comfortable speaking because you spent all of this time not speaking while nobody was watching. And you just kind of gotta train that conversational piece of your brain, I guess, for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've really focused on.
I've seen that develop a lot over the past year, and so like you just instantly, like as soon as like you got like this taken care of, you're like, all right, man, it's a little more relaxing to be able to talk and stuff, a little stress off your shoulders or something. But you can tell it's just been more fun, and maybe you just enjoy it more. You're more vocal about it, trying to remember that there's somebody going to be seeing what's behind the black lens is
right.
Little easy to forget sometimes. Sometimes I'll put little stickies or something near the camera lens, and then like I've thought about putting little audiences stickies on there. So like,
dude, you could definitely draw like 6 little tiny people and cut it out with an X-Acto knife and set it around your camera.
That's something I've honestly been thinking about, like having like a little trick for, because
do you remember the paper action figures from high school?
Oh wow, now you mention them, I do. I almost just had the whole mental image of them, for real. They like, some of them were in those books, man. I still have the Don Hertzfeld's rejected cartoons that were in the video.
Those popped up, those little minis. And
action figures.
Immediately quoted it. My spoon's too big.
Said the real ones will remember these. All right, man. Where can everybody find you at?
Boogies BB across the board. But the 2 main places that you'll be seeing everything going on is the Facebook page. That's the main hub for everything. There's always going to be videos posted there. There's always going to be photos of what I got going on, stuff we're doing behind the scenes, games I'm going to be playing. It's where I got the gall to do the Gonser, was because of the Facebook page. And then I also post on TikTok, and Twitch is my main. You'll find me there. Right now, it's I'm on twice a week. Babe has her own night. Wasteland Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when you'll be able to see her playing. She's playing Fallout 76. I am streaming on Mondays and Saturdays as well at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Mondays usually end up being Fortnite streams, but they are also always the beer reviews. Is the Monday night streams. Saturdays, I've been trying to do something with an S. It's been Switch Saturday. It's been Sony Saturday. It was Science Saturday when I was playing through Portals.
All right. For the folks at home, hope you learned something. We'll talk to you later.
Peace out, y'all.